Hi, and welcome to a special edition of ghbond Monday Night Live, where we're going to talk about PokeGAN. PokeGAN's a project, it's an NFT I ran into, and unlike a Bored Ape, we're not looking to get rich here. We're looking to be educated, and it's also kind of nostalgic, because although it's not Pokemon, it's PokeGAN, and we're going to talk about what that is. Now, this is only for subscribers. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe, you just have to click. If anybody watches without subscribing, I'm going to have my legal people looking into all the legal remedies that we can take, on any non-subscribers benefiting from this content. So do what you're supposed to, and let's get on with it. So what Pokemon are, they're cool new nostalgic NFTs that call to mind the Pokemon. But they're by not Nintendo. They want to leave any question in anybody's mind that this is not a Nintendo project, okay? And PokeGAN's also a game, and the NFT is a key into the game, and the game is actually going to teach you about Web3. You're going to get badges. It's kind of like getting a little degree in Web3. So I'm looking forward to playing it myself, and we're here to talk today just about the NFT and how you get a hold of it. So the PokeGAN are created by GAN, which is an acronym for Generative Adversarial Networks. Now, before your eyes glaze over, it's really kind of simple and it's kind of cool. Here's how it works. There's a generator. Now, the first thing the generator does, and it's in a game with a validator. So the generator shows the validator all these Pokemon. It's kind of like the thousands of Pokemon that ever existed are showed to the generator. And then the generator starts to generate things that aren't Pokemon. And it's up to the validator to decide when it sees it, is that a real Pokemon or is that a fake? And so whoever loses that battle has to change their algorithm. So if the generator isn't able to fool the validator, it has to change its algorithm. If the validator can't detect the fake, it has to change. And so apparently they let this thing run for 18 months. And they came up with a whole new set of characters, images that are not Pokemon, but obviously their roots came from Pokemon. So we haven't seen these yet. They're going to be released after the whole minting phase is over, but everybody's super excited. If you were involved in Pokemon, it's kind of nostalgic, kind of cool, and that's why I got involved. They're like 50, 60 bucks for these things, and we're not looking to get rich here. We're just looking to have some fun. What are the minting methods? Now, early on, you could get on an allow list, which allowed you to go ahead and mint. I didn't get in early enough to hear about that. Okay, so what I did, Orca at the time, he's not doing it anymore, but at the time, Orca was going ahead and minting them for people, so I actually bought one from Orca, and he was staying up night and day, not sleeping, just generating Pokemon or PokeGAN left and right, and handing them out to people, and it was kind of cool. So that's how I got the first one. The other option was geolocation. There were specific spots. I sort of looked at them. They handed out a bunch of coordinates on the globe. There's one in Pittsburgh. I heard someone talking today. There was one at the Louvre Museum in France, Paris, France. So somebody said they actually minted their PokeGAN at the Louvre. How cool is that? But yeah, none of those locations were anywhere near me, so that wasn't an option, which is why I went with Orca. And they just announced, I guess late last night, public minting, where anybody can mint one. All you have to do is go to the game, but there's only one day left. I think the rest of today and into tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what time it expires, so if you can do it tonight, do it. If not, maybe tomorrow morning. And we're going to talk about how you do that. So, step one, they recommend an iPhone. Now, you may be able to get to work on your Android, but it works really slick on the iPhone, and I had access to both. So, get your iPhone out or borrow one. You need to load MetaMask. So, Obviously, if it's not your phone, you better take it off before you give it back. And once your MetaMask is on your iPhone, it costs 0.05 ETH, which is 50 some bucks, I think, to buy one of these NFTs. So I bought 3 of them today, and I don't really remember what it costs, but you know, it's 50 some bucks each, I think. And you want to use the MetaMask browser. You can go on the MetaMask with the 3 little lines and get your drop-down menu and select the MetaMask browser. And you want to visit notnintendo.com. And once you're at notnintendo.com, you actually want to run the game. And when you run the game, you're going to have a little field pop up. And towards the upper left quadrant, you want to use the pointer to drag your player over to meet the fox in the grass face to face. The fox kind of wanders back and forth, so you got to wait till he's wandering towards you and meet him face to face. Then the biggest mistake people make at this point, there's a ones position and a tens position. And so if you click on the plus and you increment, you may be incrementing the tens position. So you might think you're asking for 2, and you're actually asking for 20. So first make sure you click on the ones position and then go ahead and increment for the number you want. And if you want a bunch of them, you can click on the tens too and increment that. And then go ahead and mint them and go through that process. Then you'll actually have them, and the ETH will come out of your wallet. And then when you're done, if it's not your iPhone, again, remove MetaMask from that iPhone. Now, of course, it's in your wallet. You won't really be able to see it, but you can see that it's there. And the way to do that is in MetaMask, you select View on Etherscan. And Etherscan's got a lot of stuff. Look for the heading for token. There's going to be probably a dollar amount underneath that. And hit the down arrow, and it'll give you a drop down of all your tokens. Then scroll down to the bottom, and PokeGAN and in parentheses COPE is going to be there. And if you click on that, you'll be able to dig deeper into the transaction, and you should be able to find the token numbers. So that's how you actually see that they're there. So that's basically how you go about minting one of the PokeGAN. There's a Twitter site for Not Nintendo. Definitely want to follow Not Nintendo because there'll be new stuff coming up every day, and there'll be support for some of the things we've been talking about. Also, in terms of MetaMask, if you've never tried to deposit fiat directly into ETH, the way it's worked for me, it hasn't worked with a credit card, but with a debit card, the first run through, the fraud detection texts me and says, hey, it looks like fraud. I text it back and say it's okay. Second time it worked. So if you're trying to do that, I definitely recommend going with the debit card option first. So that's it for this episode, and hopefully I'll see some of you down the road in the PokeGAN community.